Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Phoenix Trading Strategies Trade Forecasting Room. Today is March 3rd, 2016. It is 2 a.m. Eastern Time. Before we continue, let us go to the disclaimer. I haven't sent out any new emails recently. Disclaimer. Future stocks and spot currency trading have large potential rewards, but also large potential risk. You must be aware of the risk and be willing to accept them in order to invest in future stocks and forex markets. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. This website or presentation is neither a solicitation nor an offer to buy or sell future stocks or forex. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those discussed on this presentation or website. Past performance indicators or methodology are not necessarily indicative of future results. Being that said and done, welcome. Welcome back. So let's take a look at the news. What do we have tonight? Thursday. We went through, say, Aussie balance came out better than expected. New Zealand commodity prices month on month came out better than expected. Australian AIG service index came out better than expected. Crude oil inventories came out way too better than expected, and crude needed to crash, and it didn't. So I think they're going to take the fall tonight. We're waiting right now. This one should have come up, which is nationwide HPI month on month. Came in at par, not good. And then within the hour, we should be looking at Spanish services PMI, which probably won't be good either. And then Halifax HPI again for the UK, and Italian services PMI. We also have French services PMI, German services PMI, and finally Euro final services PMI. Boy, that'll be interesting. It's a PMI number all around. Producer Manufacturing Index. And then in the morning we have Challenger job cuts year on year. That'll be interesting. Unemployment claims. We shall see final services PMI for the US. ISM non-manufacturing PMI, factory orders, which should be less than expected. Natural gas storage. And that'll be it. We have quite a field for the US come early morning US time. Okay, let's go to the charts. So what the? I really hate when these guys do this. They really annoy me. Alright, so let's change that. Indicators. Volume, remove. And actually, let's remove the price identifier so we can move faster. Okay. I hate the yen. I really dislike this thing. It just doesn't cooperate the way it should. So let's analyze this one. This is going to be an interesting pair. Let's start from the top, because this one shouldn't go up today. Instead, should go down. Why? Because they've reached their goal. So let's go down to the 720. Oh, we have power dots on the 720 and a momentum shift. Boom and racked. Come down, papa. All right, we like those. We like when they do, when they show us that they're going to come down. Now, there's a pivot right there, and there were power dots there on the 720. This is 600. Let's go to the 480, see if we have multiple time frame confirmation. We have it here. So that means that this should come down from where it's currently trading. And let's continue. 300. Nothing on the 300. But we do have two pivots here, which is in our favor. So let's see what we have here. Let's continue as we go down. The 240 isn't really showing us much, but we do have from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shift and then down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should have it come down further. I don't expect this thing to hold. Let's go down to the 180. Okay, the 180, they've already played that. Let's go to the 120. They're playing, apparently it looks like they're going to play right off that. 20, let's drill it down. Miserable 120. Now, this is important, okay? Because here, see how the trend stop is coming down? Well, most of the time, what will happen is that it will flatline. When it flatlines, it means that this move is over and that the real trade is to the downside. Now, if I am correct in that within the next 4 hours, this thing will flatline and we should see the yen begin to come down from that point. Now, it would be a beautiful head and shoulders, this shoulder missing to come down. And if I'm right, I'd say this shoulder will come down to 112.72 from where it's currently at. But let's continue to drill it down. I do like the yen. They're perfect. Power dots on the 90-minute. Man, what more can we ask for? Let's take a look at the volume. Let's add indicators now. And I'm going to add one more, which I have to change. And this one is, let me change that. Okay, this one is, I'm only going to have it brief. Actually, no, I can't because it's not going to plot in this level. No, don't do that. It's not going to plot here. These two will. It only plots up to the 30-minute. So let's go. DAX, the CAX, the FTSE are coming down. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ are coming down with it. Come on down. And if that's the case, this one's coming down as well. We love seeing that. All right, let's expand this out and let's see how they played this. So let's look at it from a perspective that would make sense. Okay, is up, then down, then up and down. So here is where I'm hoping that this will give us what we're looking for. So this is up and this is down. And we're looking for the same scenario from here down, which is volume divergence. And actually this would be the higher point there. And here. Now, if we are correct, we got one more, and that would be here. And it did come down, so it was in the right direction. This one seems to be in the right direction. This was down, down, and this was up, which is a no-no. And what happens is that we cannot have this scenario. Cannot coexist with volume going down. So now it seems like we are in the right direction. Now, being that said and done, I don't like the distance where how far the power dots are from, but it looks like we would have to, let's see, no new upgrades. Everything should be loaded correctly. Okay, so here, this will be interesting actually. Let's continue to scroll to go down. Let's go to the 60-minute. If we have power outs on the 60-minute, now we had on the 720. So the fact that we had it right here on the 90-minute is a good thing. Now we have our multiple time frame confirmation. Now it's a matter of continuing. Okay. See here, this is 60-minute. Now we have our multiple time frame confirmation. But let's take a look at this. So it came from here. And this one came from here. So I actually did it. No, they didn't do it here. Actually, they held this one. So we're still good direction-wise. Let's go to the 45. Give it a minute. Okay. Nothing here on the 45, but everything still looks good. We still have volume divergence, which is what I was looking for. So is it fair to say this was the momentum shift, came down, pulled back, and then liquidity pulled down again? Yeah, it is. But why hasn't this thing come down below 114 even is the question. We have here a level which is not a support or resistance but a mid-range level. So we know that when it comes down, it will come down here to 113.31, which is not a bad trade, but I still need more confirmation. So let's go down to the 30. We'll drill this one down. This one will give us a good idea. Even though I have a strong feeling that, yeah, there it is. The Dow futures is coming down. S&P, the DAX, the CAC, the FTSE, they're all going to come down like a stone. I'll show you the trade that I was looking at. Even crude, thank God. You know, crude should have crashed this morning, or yesterday morning when oil inventories came out. That number was so high, it was ridiculous. You know, they were expecting 2.5 million, and they suddenly have 10.5 million barrels, and it didn't come down. Not in this lifetime. Okay, nothing here. Let's go down to the 20. If we have power outs in the smaller time frames, we just need one more confirmation, one more, and then we're solid. This is what it's all about. Okay. I don't like the trend stop here on the 20-minute. So let's continue to the 15. Give it a minute. How's it going, Chris? All right, let's take a look at this. Still no, nothing treacherous, conniving sons of you know what. So here's the momentum shift. They went up, and now they're coming down. If this one comes down from here, we're solid. I don't like the trade to the upside right now. They did have a hard time breaking these pivots, but I think that as we continue down, we're going to see what we need to see. The fact that in the higher time frames we do have power dot formation is a good thing. The fact that Dow just went below 16,868 is a great thing. And I'm going to show you soon because that means that it's going to fall hard like a stone. And crude is coming down along with it. Wow, what a beautiful trade. You know, these guys are treacherous. They needed to fall early this morning and they didn't. Despicable market makers. But that's okay. Revenge is sweet. Give it a second. Give it a second. Okay. This is what I wanted to see. All right. So we have two pivots here. We have one here. They broke below. This was a bullish candle with bearish volume. And let me show you why. See? Slightly bullish, but doesn't matter. They did the deed. This one was a bearish candle with bullish volume. And this one here, so they did it again. And then finally, this is the momentum shift they did, and then they came down. So here, from this point, this one is bullish, bearish with bullish volume. This one is bearish with bullish volume, bearish with bullish volume. So it has to go up one more time. If it goes up one more time, then it's still going to fall. Because there is no way in hell, after the North Koreans fire rockets into the ocean because they got new sanctions, that the yen is going to hold. Now, that's the weird part about this. In reality, this thing should weaken against the dollar. That is what should happen. However, the correlation is so strong with the Dow that it's already been rebalancing, so they may strengthen this thing on purpose, which doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But if this one doesn't pop, and this is what we have to see, if it doesn't break above 114.23, then we have an entry on that. So let's just wait on that one because it ain't over yet. But it's almost there. In the meantime, let me show you the Dow, because I have been hounding this one for hours, and I mean hours. And on the 45-minute, it looks wonderful because they've taken so long to rebalance that one that it doesn't matter if the Nikkei is up. The Hang Seng is down. The Shanghai Composite is only up 10 points, which is nothing. See? They've been coming down from, they went as high as 16,905 again, but now look at the 45. and they just broke through these power dots that formed, which is good. That means that they've had to come down here. Something's up here that I'm missing because this thing should have continued. And I'm trying to see if there's a pivot here that it didn't break through. There's a pivot here, but this thing should have continued down, not bounced up. And they've already done this. This would be the fourth level, but it failed. So they went up, made the move, and then pulled back. And the volume's just horrible because you can't really tell. But look at the 45-minute. The 45-minute is just amazing. See? And we have a pivot. Oh my God. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sign. See, look at that. Not only did it finish, but now we have a pivot at the very end. This sucker has to fall. Let's see the volume, because it is so low, it's not even funny. These guys are really despicable. So let's do it from here. This one, negative volume, a bullish candle with negative volume. This one, slightly bullish. Okay, they're making the move up. This one, more bullish. They should have broken through the top. This one is bearish, of course. They hold the price. They do a final push. Here's the momentum shift. They don't, those extra orders are the ones that don't get filled. And then finally, it comes down like a stone. And here's your trade. And do you know where this thing's going to go? It's going to come all the way down here to 16,740. Actually, I predicted this thing's going to come down to 16,700. That's my target. But most definitely to 16,770 from where it's currently at. And that's not a bad trade. From where my entry was, you're talking 100 points to the downside, which is a real beauty. But the fact that they took 1, 2, 3, the end of the day, gentlemen, remember what I've told you. Any trade that you have power dot formations at the end of the day and they're continuous into the next day, make it a dangerous trade for the establishment. Why? Because that means that they're taking their time rebalancing these orders. And as they rebalance, not a good thing for anyone going in that direction. So the dangerous part is when it gets here. When it gets here to 16,843, we need to see this break below this pivot, and then it should continue down to 16,800, and then finally make that move down here. So if we are correct, then at that point you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me count. 13. Let me see. 13 times 45 divided by 60 minutes. That's almost 10 hours. 10 hours, gentlemen, for it to rebalance. That means that this thing should have fallen like a rock. Now, if that is the case, and we all believe that to be the case, then this thing has to come down very aggressively. Now, here's the kicker on this trade, and this is why I feel that the US yen will fall along with it. You see how they initiated their trade here? It really initiated here. This is the move to the upside. Now, here there is an imbalance. What is the imbalance? And let me get the pointer, because this is a good lesson to learn. The point of control of the buyers is at the very bottom. The point of control of the sellers is at the top. This one is not a normal imbalance. This is a normal, is not a normal, actually, this is a normal imbalance, actually. No, this is not. No, this is, forgive me, this is wrong, this is correct. This is a normal imbalance. So as we go up, we see that they push, but then they come down. Now, as they come up, of course, when we see power dots, we know that if they don't break them, they got to come down. So what happened here? The buyers pretty much announced that they're going to take control, which they do. They take control one more time. They make a final push up, but the message here is somewhat consistent. Why is that? Point of control of the sellers is at the bottom along with the buyers. Then here, the buyers take control. Point of control is at the top, sellers at the top. And then here, as they get closer to the power dots, the point of control of the sellers forms below, as well as the point of control for the buyers, which is a no-no. Now here, as they come down, the buyers say, wait a minute, I'm still not happy with that. And so the next one comes in. And this one shows an imbalance that normally is the one that we look for. Why? Because as it goes up, the sellers are in disagreement. And this one, the volume slightly increased on the buyer side, but the sellers didn't want to participate, and so they didn't offset those orders to the upside. And then finally, this one does it, bring it down. And now we're here. This level here, 16, and let me identify this one. 16,862 is a level that on the higher time frame, when they've broken below this thing, it comes down like a stone. When they've traded above it, it runs like the wind. However, they've hit this level already a few times here. They did it earlier yesterday, and then it came down. They retested, and then finally on the retest, 4 times they've retested. 4 times it has failed. 1, you could say this one is 2, this one is 3, this one is 4, and this one is 5. And that's why, and plus the fact that we have a pivot here, this thing should come down. Now, my only concern is this. At first I was concerned that this trade was going to go up because of the aggressiveness of the candles that were trading towards it. And so I said to myself, okay, this looks like they want to break. But it's the second time they come to this level, and these pivots seem to be lining up right smack together in line. So the fact that this came down and it broke below the trend dot is sufficient for me. So now where it's currently at is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing because it means that they have to come down. But they're going to take their sweet time, but I doubt that they're going to go back up from this level. It just, everything, I mapped this out to see how they were trading it when they broke above, but it looks like they're going to bring it right back down. And the Chinese came out with a statement which wasn't so good, which means that they're concerned about an economic slowdown. They've never come out with a statement like that. That is something that is not good in their favor. But this candle, when this candle closes on the 45, I need it to close below this level. If it closes below 16,862, then at that point, I feel that the run is going to come and the rain is going to pour on the US indices today. So that's basically it on that end. Let's take a look at the yen because I think it's time to, I think the yen is ready. And if I'm right, then it should be coming down. Let's give it a minute. It'll come up shortly. Give it a minute. Okay. So let's see, what are you doing? Yeah, this was, let's see, they threw everything at this one. Let's look at this before we go down. All right, so this candle had 392 million on the buy. No. How's it going? 351 on the sell. Bearish candle with bullish volume. However, this one, again, faces the same thing. It's a bearish candle with bullish volume right now. Hasn't closed, but it doesn't look good in that regard. I don't like it when they do that. This one's negative, and then this one is positive. This one is negative. Ooh, okay. 381 million on the buy, 400 on the sell. And let's see. Everything looks clean in that regard. This thing, I don't see it going up, but I'm not sold on it yet. Let's go down to the 12 minute. 12 minute is a very interesting time frame that sometimes many people don't take a look at quite often. Okay, here again, we're faced with this dilemma, but let's take a look at this. This is, what did they do? Okay, this was some one, came down, up, didn't come down, held. This was the final moment, and then this one is down. Stop loss, I guess here, you're looking at 10 to 12 pips max. I think they're going to make one more run up before it comes down, but I'd like to say that it's not going to go beyond 114.13, maybe 114.10, and then should come down. I like this trade to the downside myself. No buy, hold, sell trade recommendations, but I believe your stop loss should be above, I'd like to say here, 114.20. So you're risking 20 pips, no, 15 pips right now. This is where your stop loss should be. And if I'm right, this thing's going to come right down through it. And this pivot is the one that's holding it. And once it breaks below 114.02, has to come down here to 113.87. And then it's going to make a fight right here at 113.75. If it breaks there, 113.70, that's the beautiful thing about the pivots, that they map out the next levels. I think this thing comes down to 113.40 overnight. If I'm right, we like this pivot. Now we have a lower high and we have a pivot, which is good. So this thing from this point should come down. And if it comes down, that means it's in line with the Dow coming down and crashing as well. So at this point, yeah, I'm short the yen. I like this trade to the downside. I think it's going to be a pretty aggressive trade right now in that regard. And sometimes we only need just one good trade, just one good trade. We don't need two, we don't need three, we just need one. So I like this trade to the downside, actually. Once they break below 1400, it's on. I mean, it's a straight fall from that point to 113.86. And I don't think it's even gonna hold there. I think it's gonna come down here to 113.75 and hold, and then at that point break below. But I think this one has the potential to come all the way down here, and if we're lucky, we'll see it come down to 113.21, which I would just be jumping for joy if they did that. But our trade is to the downside, not to, not to the upside. Now, the interesting thing about this is that, I mean, the Dow just broke below. It's trading at 16,859, which is good. But let's look at this, because this is going to be interesting. This is where, we define where divergence came in. So as this thing is going up, and we can begin here, this is where it actually began. Well, actually it did here. They pushed it and then they came down. But actually they came up. So this was not the momentum shift. In actuality, it's this one. This one they came up and then they came down and then here. And ever since then, it's been on the downside. So let us say that from here, yeah, here it is. God, I hate being right, but it's such a beautiful thing. It's not even funny sometimes. So here is what they did. Let's draw our line. Okay, so here's one, and here goes the numbers. So this is the one, and then it goes down here. 1. This is on the 12-minute. This is being the highest point. 2. Now, this one came down, so this one becomes the next point. You got to pay attention to where the dashes appear. This is 3. This one is 4. Now remember, they took forever in the down to rebalance, so that's why we're seeing this as well. This is 5, and this came up, this being the highest point here. This is 6. This is number 7 right here. And then this one is next. And then finally this one. And this is what we should be anticipating. So this is a lot of, as it went up, quite honestly, I've never seen so many in one shot, in one trade. But that's a good thing, because that means that the rebalancing act is going to be big. And you're looking for the highest point in the bar to see, as they're going up, why this is going down. Then of course they bring in more volume, but at the end of the day it comes down to one thing, and I'm going to show and explain that to you. And this doesn't and should not look complicated. It is, of course, but once I explain it to you, you will see the reasoning behind it. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to understand the reasoning. Question. Hey, good morning, Jeremy. How are you, my friend? So, here's the reasoning behind this. This is the highest point right here, not this one. However, I wouldn't go with this, but I would go with here I didn't go with this point because, and I probably should have, because it lines up with this one here. And let's do that. I don't know. Okay. So from this point to this point, you can see that they'll usually come up and they'll do the same thing. They'll hit that same volume level consistently every time and then pull down from it. Well, they did it too many times. And by taking all this time to do so, they created an amount of volume divergence which cannot be overlooked. Such is the case that it makes the case. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's like having 8 power dots. And the fact that they took this long, since 5 in the afternoon till about right now, is not a good sign for them. Such is the case that that's why this trade is playing to the downside. Once it breaks below 114.02, 114.01, once it breaks below this pivot right here, this is the criminal of all criminals. Then at that point, it's a free fall. And that's what we're looking for. They're going to take their sweet time. This thing should have fallen because the Dow should have collapsed just as much. And it didn't, based on the fact that with North Koreans firing those rockets into the ocean, it's a basically go fly a kite type of scenario. But we should have seen this thing just come down, and we should have seen the U.S. indices and the futures come down as well. But they didn't play the trade yet. So now, I like the volume divergence from here, 1, 2, and then 3. Why? Because it's starting to go in the same direction. So look at it from this perspective. This is basically the trade that we are pretty much looking for. This one right here. Not to go to the upside, but to actually come down. When it came down, it formed a pivot. When it broke below the trend dots, came up, retested them, used them as resistance levels, and pushed right back down. And we have another pivot. Next trend dot is going to form around right here. So if we are correct, then they're going to use this next trend dot that forms here to come down. Otherwise, they're going to play this silly game, and by playing this silly game, they're just going to hold us, but it's not going to be for too long because now they're going to have a really hard time breaking above 114.15. Your stop loss should be at 114.20, 114.21. That's where it should be from this entry. You should not risk more than 15 pips in this trade. So 114.21 based on the entry of 114.06 is a good stop loss. I don't see them making an attempt to go that high. So really gotta hate the indexes. Man, they just refuse to play fair. So this trade is more, we're just gonna have to anticipate a retracement. I don't like the fact that it's trading off of the trend stop, to be quite honest with you. It's not something that I'm fond of, but it is something that was eventually going to happen. So now we need to see how they're playing it. But now I'm willing to go down even lower. I'm going to go down to a 7-minute. Rate hike debate. Miserable Fed. The banks are doing everything possible to rally the markets because they want a rate hike. They don't want negative rates. But I think today is not the day for that. And since non-farm payrolls coming up Friday, I think they're going to be in for a very, very big surprise, and it ain't going to be pretty. So let's see this. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Okay. Yeah, see this one here. And this is trading very low here. So this is actually, ooh, this is the deception right here. Wow. They are cruel and unusual. Okay, look at this. This thing has 6,600 on the buy, 13 on the sell. That's a that's a bullish candle with negative volume. And we know what that means. We like those. So, ooh, closed and they formed the power dot. Dangerous. But we'll see. We'll see. This ain't over yet. We'll see when it comes down what it does. If they hold it or if they break right through it. This ain't over. And since it was slightly negative, and they closed right below the pivot, which is what I was expecting them to do. That means that it should come down from here. So volume divergence is still in effect. Why? Because this one closed. This is the momentum shift here. Then this one closed below it. They come back to retest. This is the one, and then this thing should come down from this point. Told you they were going to give us a better entry at around 114.11, 114.12. So we'll see how this one plays. But if it plays to the downside, which I think it will, then it's going to be a very, very interesting trade. Now let's see, because we should have some news that came out right now. Someone opened their mouth, or they're about to. Let's see. Not yet. We still have another 20 minutes before PMI numbers come out. I don't think they're going to be that great, to be quite honest with you. I think everyone's in for a big surprise. But see how it's holding right here, right below? See? That is not a good sign. And this one closed below. This, being a bullish candle with bearish volume is a no-no from every level, because it still plays into the volume divergence. So this one is negative right now. Still has negative volume. See? You got 14 on the buy, 19 on the sell. Difference of 4, 4, 8. 15 on the buy, 19 on the sell. 17 on the buy, 20 on the sell. Those are some half orders that are forming here. Now we have 23 on the sell. Now, if we have two candles with that are bullish with negative volume, the third one's coming down. So this may be the Big Ben move that they pull, which is run up before they come down. So let's see if they break the pivot, because this is going to be very crucial right here. If they don't break this pivot, then they got to come down. So let's see. That's interesting how they played that one in this time frame. Let's see what they do here. $37 on the buy, 31 on the sell. If As negative volume comes into this, they pull back just the way they did, then that'll be interesting. Right now, they're more or less in balance. To some degree, you could say liquidity is very low based on what's happening. $46 on the buy, $43 on the sell. $47 on the buy, $43 on the sell, 48. See, this thing should be going through the roof right now. 50 on the buy, 43 on the sell. And it's not. $52 on the buy, 54, 43 on the sell, 44 on the sell. Difference of 10 million bullish volume. 45 on the sell. $47. It's not pulling back. 48, 49 on the sell. 50 on the sell, 56 on the buy, 57. Aha, there. Let's see. 54, 55 on the sell. 57. Now it's almost in balance. I'm curious to see if the sellers take control. Now they're in perfect balance. 58 on the buy, 58 on the sell. 59 on the sell. Let's see what happens if the sellers increase here and bring it down. And we should see this thing come down from this point. 63 on the sell, 64, 65 on the sell, 66, 68 on the sell, difference of 10 million practically. And this thing hasn't moved. 69, 70 on the sell, 71. Okay, here it comes. Sentiment, 72, difference of 13 million negative. $61 on the sell, 72, no, 62 on the buy, 72 on the sell. I would have expected more movement here, quite honestly. Okay, the fact that the trend stop formed flat is not a bad sign, because if I'm right, they're going to use it to bounce down. And that means that this is inverted, and if this comes down, then they're going to break through this level, and then we're good. Let's see, where are they with the indices? The Nikkei is still up. The Hang Seng is below 91, negative. Shanghai is only up 10. Kospi is low right now. The TAIEX is only at 60, plus 67. Sensex is up. CSI is up. NCX is up. STI. Dow Futures is barely one up. S&P Futures isn't changed, negative actually. The CAC and the DAX are down. They're not up right now. And we have crude going down as well. So this thing shouldn't hold. Let's see. 11 on the buy, 20 on the sell. They're just holding it. I hate when they do that. Yes, on Friday we are starting early at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 5 a.m. Pacific. Okay, let's see what happens here. Treacherous trade. 21 negative. No, hold on, let's see. 25 negative. 16 positive. 18 positive, 28 negative. I mean, they're holding it. 30 negative, 19 positive. This is by far one of the most stubbornest trades we have ever been in. 22 on the buy, 35 on the sell. It has negative volume, negative 14. So if it closes with negative volume, then the next candle should come down. That is usually the order of business. And we still have negative volume. So there is volume divergence to the downside. This trade cannot coexist. And must come down. 28 on the buy, 49 on the sell. 51 on the sell. And it seems like the sellers are starting to hold that price and say, no, not quite. 58 on the sell, 29 on the buy. The buyers don't want to buy below, but the sellers say, so what? You're going down. 61, 30 on the buy, 61 on the sell. Haven't really seen a lot of high frequency right now. This is the moment that I would have expected us to see more high frequency. $62 on the sell, 37 on the buy, 38 on the buy. I mean, you got negative 22 million on this thing. 41 on the buy. I don't like that. The slightest bit of bullish volume and it makes a move. And with all that bearish volume, this thing should have come down right now. The fact that it's holding below 114.15 is actually a good thing. Global rally on the run. You wish. I love how these commentators on Bloomberg just try and make things look so nice. Ah, they popped. Okay, let's see what this one does. Because this has negative volume at the wazoo. And if it doesn't hold, that means it's got to come right back down. There it is. Come on down. 61 on the buy, 93 on the sell. I want you to slap someone. 94 on the sell. Come on down, baby, because we're all waiting for it. There it is. Beautiful. That was the Big Ben move, and that was a bad Big Ben. You know what Big Ben is? When they run the stops during the London session, and then they come down. Oh, yes. There it is. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Now we see high frequency. I knew it was bound to happen. You know, the Dow came crashing down. Now it's -9 after being up 3. Oh, no, we're going to have fun tonight. Come on. Give it up. You and I both know you want to give it up. And we all want to take it from you. So give up 30, 40 pips you're going to give up. Come on. Come on. It's almost there. Come on. Stop being stubborn. The minute you break below our entry, we are hot to trot. In actuality, this is the bloody level that has to be. See right here? This right here, there is a pivot right there. Miserable pivot at 114.05. Once it gets below the trend stop right here, it's on. Come on down, baby. We all want you to come down. Come on. Let's look at the volume in this. I mean, see, this is an imbalance of the worst kind. But look, the beautiful thing is that the amount of volume they put into it is great, because they popped up and then came down, and now we have another pivot here, which is a no-no, which is still below this one. So I was hoping that they wouldn't break, but they didn't, because they settled below this pivot, formed another one here, which is a good sign. So we should see this come down regardless of the fact that we have here a power dot formation, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Why? Because power dots tell us that there is volume, liquidity, and momentum coming into the market, except in this case, they're using the trend stop as the resistance level to come down. So come down. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the trade of the night. Besides the Dow and the other U.S. indexes crashing. Yeah. I knew we weren't going to go without a good fight. They put up a good fight. I got to give it to them. You know, stubborn mules, but sometimes just ain't. It's just not the way. The smart money always loses because they give it up so easily. But they're having a really hard time breaking below that miserable 114.05. Because that pivot is crucial, because look at what happened here. See how how this one broke above and came down? The minute they break below, it's going to be aggressive down, and then they'll retest it up and then come right back down. So that's why that 1405 is a crucial price level for them, because they know that they are in deep trouble the minute it breaks below that thing. So come on down. There it is. There it is. Keep going. We're all looking for it. We're all looking to enjoy this one. There it is. Come on. Come on. You know you're going to give it up, and we're going to take it from you. Give it up. And see how they came up to this volume here and didn't go. They did the same thing here, and then they pulled back. So when you see, you know, these are small little tricks that I'm showing you, which you really need to pay attention to them, because it's the detail, which is the hard part, but at the same time, the most important thing to learn. See, this was the high point, then this is the low point in the volume. They hit this level, and then they came down and they settled below, which is a good thing. Now, normally we would say this is a momentum shift and then this is going up. Normally I would say that. However, seeing that the Dow is coming down, now it's down 11 points from the open. Not a good thing for this one. We have crude 10 cents below the open right now. Brent 28 cents below the open. You know, I think they just didn't want to crash crude down, but I think they're going to come down tonight. And this one should follow. It's stubborn. It is stubborn. I have to give it to them. Man, they've made us work hard for this one. But that 1405 level is a miserable level. Come on down. Let's look at the volume on this. They're really, really being nasty about it. See, look at that. They're right there at the 1405 level. Now it's 1403. Yes, come on, come on. You need to give it up, and we want to take it from you. So let's go. 72 on the buy, 77 on the sell. Now, the volume is light, but the price action is hot, which is what we need. They did all their high frequency previously at the top, and now it's time to pay the piper. So here it goes. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. See, the Dow futures is down 14 points now. I want to see the FTSE's down, the CAC is down, the DAX is down. Oh, Lord have mercy. It is going to be a bloodbath tonight. See, they should have fallen today. Treacherous individuals, but they didn't. They rallied it right back up because they needed to get out of their positions. And this one's still being a stubborn mule, but now it's trading, where it should be. So it's just a matter of time before they give it up at this point. But they aren't being nice about it, that's for sure. So let's leave this one and let's take a look at the Dow. Let me move this over. Okay. So here's the Dow. Let's see this one. This was the entry. So they went all the way up. They're coming down. No way they're going to hold it. This thing has to crash. Once it gets down to 16,800, I'll be happy. See, this is the pivot right here that they didn't want to break, or that they're having a hard time breaking. But it's going to break. When it breaks this pivot, it's going down. And it should come down. The first level is right here, 16,837. So they're breaking right below these power dots that basically formed that third movement to the upside, which was a good move. Now, make no mistake about it. But this is where it's stalling. Now, the fact that they've used the trend stop as a resistance level to come down is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But we need to break below this level, 16,858. Once we get below 16,858, it'll go real quickly to 16,852, and then it should come down. And once it comes down, it has to come down to this level. I drew these trend lines because I wanted to see it, but once it comes down here to 16,791, then it's on a crash course. And then it's going to get real interesting. See, now the yen just went positive for us. It's still holding at 1.4. No, the yen is actually in play. See, the fact that they're both going in the same direction is a good thing. This is a nonsense move. They're just trying to stall. But in actuality, they've got to come down because everyone else is coming down. The only one that hasn't moved is the Shanghai Composite and this bloody Nikkei that just won't budge. But everyone else is coming down. So this one should fall from here. They're going to play this game left and right, but it's right for the fall. How badly it's going to fall is a question during the night. That's the interesting part that we can't really see yet, but it'll play. And then the US yen is still having trouble breaking as well. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, see, the yen is right back at break even again. Now, that just means that there is another entry to be made on the yen. Again, to the downside. I'd like to say that you can add a trade more to the downside on that one because it's going to fall. There's no way they're going to hold it. So give it a minute. It'll come right back up. Give it a minute. We're almost there. You know, if crude falls, the euro is going to fall along with it. The euro yen could be another trade that we should contemplate. Yeah, see, this is coming down. You can actually add a position to this and be in it with 2 instead of 1. It will play out. There's no way that they're not going to play it. China slowed down. I love when they say China's slowing down. Fresh data shows China slowing down. Wow. I love Bloomberg when they come out with those, with such great news. So you can add another position. It's going to come down regardless. There's no way they're going to hold it. But now let's go look at the euro yen. We know this one's going to play, but it's going to take its time. They're going to make us work for it. It's going to be like one of those fight to the finish type of trades where it's a yes, no, maybe so, yes, no, maybe so, and then okay, fine, here it is. One of those where, they're pulling, yes, they're not, they're pulling, yes, they're not. But see, you still have divergence to the downside here. I mean, this is not a good sign for them. This, all these candles have been closing negatively right below the 50% line. So that means that it's got to fall. You got 2 pivots up here. You have the trend stop, which is flat. Granted, you have power dots here, but we know that the minute that they break below 113.96, it's dangerous. And they just broke below this pivot here, 114.05, and there it comes. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Keep going, baby. We all know that you want to give it up. Come on, come on, come on. Make it interesting for us. Make it a 40 pip move. We'll all have a smile on our face right now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You got to root for it. See, they know that the minute they get below this level, they're in deep trouble. I'd like to say this is a level. 113.95 is the one that they got to break, because when they break below that, it's nasty. And at that point, it's a free fall, and a very dangerous one at that. Come on. Give it up. See, I'm telling you, they're making us work hard for it. See, the FTSE's down 9 points, the CAC is down 5, the DAX is down 10, SMI is down, what was that, 20? Something like that. The Nikkei is still up. That probably closed. The Hang Seng is down 61. Shanghai is only up 10. Kospi is only up 1.5, which is nothing. I got to thank the North Koreans for sending a few rockets up in the air. That maniac might have just helped us with these trades. Not that I'm a fan, because I'm not, make no mistake. So let's see. Boy, they are just treacherous. They know they got to come down there. The fact that they're trading below that 114.05 is very significant, and we know that this is the one where they're having a problem with the 113.96, because they hit it and broke right back. So this one has to make the attempt. Again, we still have volume divergence. You see, it's still trading below. It's still negative. Now, granted, the volume has been diminishing from the high point, which was here, and it's still directional in our favor. Come on down, come on, come on down. We know you want to come down. Come on, just crash already. My God, man. I'm sure we all want to go to sleep. Don't you agree? Okay, see, PMI falls to 51.1. The PMI numbers were bad. I knew it. I'm sorry, I had to laugh. There it is. No, no, no. This is not bad. Well, actually, it is because they were expecting the forecast. The previous was that, and the forecast was supposed to be better, and it wasn't. This was the previous, so this one came in below the previous, which is not good. This is what they forecasted, which doesn't mean a damn thing. They can forecast whatever they want. What matters is that it came in lower than the previous month. That's what matters. And here we go again. Come on, just run right through them. Give them a one good hit. Make it a home run. We're not looking for a double or a triple today. We're looking for a home run. There it is. Oh, God. I hate when they do that. It's like a tease. Come on. Come on. We all know what's going to happen when you break below that level. It's dangerous, but we are willing to accept that danger. Come on. Come on. Give it up. Now, the beautiful thing is that this trade, you see how it broke below the trend dots and how the candles have been using the trend dots as resistance levels. Aside from the fact that they use the trend stop as a resistance level, is a great thing. So, maybe they're going to, this next trend dot that it forms, they'll use it as a resistance level and come down. Maybe this next candle, not this one, but the next one will be the one that comes crashing down. I'd love for this one to come crashing down, to be quite honest with you. I'm ready to just hang them out to dry. But boy, are they making it difficult. Yeah, see, I hate when they do that. So long as they stay below the 1405, the 11405, we're good. Let's see what happens here. No, nothing. Nothing. Come back down. Why don't they give up the talk about the Brexit? No one really cares. They're going to exit regardless. Come on. How many minutes left? We got, I think, 1 more minute left on this thing. That level, that 113.96 is a real treacherous one. It's going to break, but they're going to take their sweet time about it. Let's see what happens here. 114.01, 114.02. The volume is slightly bullish. I mean, they are throwing everything at this. They're defending this level with everything they got right now. Look at that. 104 on the buy, 102 on the sell. The buyers just don't want to give up control, but they're going to have to. Life is just too short in this case. And it's going to get a lot shorter for them. Come on. Here we go. Make it a good one. They must really have high hopes for the morning news, because I don't. Let's see what happens. They gotta break below that 113.96 level. That's the treacherous one. Okay, next candle. And it's settled negative, which is a beautiful thing. The high frequency is in play, but it's still negative, so we still have room to run. Come on, here it is. Break below, make it interesting. I want you to really hurt someone right now on the other side. DAX is down 22 points after being up today. Not good. FTSE's down, the CAC 40 is down. The Stoxx 50 is just ready to fall. The Nifty is up. That's not a good sign. The ASX is up. And there it is. Come on down. Come on. We both know you want to go to 113.85. Make it interesting for us. Okay. Haha. I knew you were going to give it up. There it is. Oh my goodness. Come on. Come on. Oh, miserable. Oh man, they're just making us fight for it. It's an emotional roller coaster. 113.91 is the price that we need to break. And then it's a free fall at 113.65, 113.60. There is a no tomorrow after that one, buddy. Go down. Come on. Go down. See how they make this emotional. Imagine, if you have a bad heart, this is not the right business for you. Not the right trade. Because they are just making it way too emotional right now. Come on. Come on down, retest that level, and just run right through it. Run right through it. Come on. You can do it. We believe in you. Come on. Man, they are just really making it hard for us. Now, as soon as this thing went bright red, your stop loss, which was up here at 114.21, should be down now to break-even level. So if you have a stop loss up here, you should move it down to break-even. I don't see them coming up to retest it, or you can come up to, where it's only 3 pips away. But I think as soon as this one breaks below this 113.91 level, then at that point you should take your stop loss to break even. And the Dow just keeps going down. Oh yeah, we're down to 16,846. What a beautiful thing, and you have to crash. I'm expecting that thing to go down 200 points tonight, and I hope they go down 300 points and rip someone's head out. All right, so this is good. This is not bad. Let's take a look at that Dow trade. Give it a minute. I'm not going to say a second because it's not going to take a second, guys. It's going to take a minute. Crude is down 18 cents on the Western Texas index, and there it is. God, I hate being right. See, now we're trading here. It's having a problem breaking this level. Why? Why are you having a problem breaking this level? You broke through this level, which is good. So, okay, I can accept that. It's trading right below this pivot. Good. Okay, I can accept that. It's trading right below these two pivots, which is good. I can accept that. And it should come down from this point here. Now, here is where it's making the fight right now, but as soon as it breaks below these two, then it's got to come down here to 16,835. And then once that goes down, it's over. It's done. They are done. And it's bye-bye Charlie, because the night is going to be a beautiful night. In the morning, someone's going to shed a tear, but it ain't going to be us. No, no, no. No, 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 not us. But they are putting up a fight. I got to give it to them. They love to put up a fight. Now, the fact that they came down from 16,905 to right now to 16,848 is a good drop. You're talking about, almost 50 points. That's not bad, but it still has more to give. Come on down. Come on down. You know that you have to come down, and we want you to come down. We're rooting for you, buddy. Oh, the yen is down. The yen is coming down, which is a beautiful thing. Let's go to the US yen. As long as US yen comes down, this will come down. Make no mistake about it. And since they're both going in the same direction, both trades are solid. At this point, you should move your stop loss to break even on the US yen. Let's see. Give it a minute. I have to thank the North Koreans and the Chinese today. They did a beautiful job. Okay, the stocks Europe 600 is down a point and a half. The DAX is down 30. The CAC is down 12. And it's not pretty. Okay. So they're still trading right below it. Let's open this up and see how this is going to play. They're still negative, which is not a bad thing. But we're having a really hard time breaking this miserable level, which is 113.91. And we all know that once it breaks below 113.91, there is no stopping this. Now, what I don't like about this is that this one came down quite a bit, and this one settled right at it, but this one has settled slightly up. It's still negative, but this one is going to be a little treacherous, and that means it could come up and retest. So we'll see how it plays out. But if it retests this just right here, slightly here, and then comes back down, I'm good. I have no quarrel in that regard. But man, they don't want to give it up. Oh, come on, let's see. Let's see what you're going to do? How are you going to play? Come on, hit this level again one more time and break right through it. Boy, they love to make this emotional. This is barely 20 pips. Barely 20 pips right now. Come on. Break below. Make it interesting. Come on, give it up. Okay, see how the trend stop basically just went down? This is a good sign. We like this. And the fact that this didn't really go all the way up to test means the further it gets apart, the more aggressive the trade is going to be to the downside. But we need it to really break through this level right now, because it'll change the dynamic of the trend significantly. It's got negative volume. You got 56 on the buy, 82 on the sell. So the sellers are coming in, but my God, they're having a hard time breaking that miserable level. See, this is a level right here that they need to break. And they haven't been able to break that puppy. You got 63 on the buy, 77 on the sell, difference of 13 million, and it's still negative. 97? Oh, what the? Oh, forgive me. 62 on the buy, 97 on the sell. 63, 97 on the sell. And the volume divergence is still to the downside. And gold is just having a really hard time staying above 1240 right now. I was expecting gold to actually make a move to 1255 this day, but we'll see. We will see. Come on down, come on. It's 104 on the sell, 68 on the buy. Are you kidding me? Shoot someone already. Here it goes. Come on. Break below. Treacherous trade. Miserable algorithm. It knows it's got to give it up, and it's just making us really, really work for it. Come on. Give it up. Show the love. Show the love. No, they're just really, really stubborn about this one. But the volume is still good. Okay, new candle. Let's see what this one does. So this one did 77 on the buy, 111 on the sell. So it's a bullish candle with bearish volume, and we know what that means. That means that this one should come down. Now they could wait to test the next trend dot, which will be here. The trend stop's coming down aggressively. The trend dots are coming down aggressively. So they could retest it here and then from this point make that move down. Or basically maintain and make the attempt to come down again one more time. They will break this level, and when they break it, it's going to be a real emotional drop. But in the meantime, they are just making everyone wait for it. We still have 20 minutes in the session though, so we're still good. We are still good. Let's see. Come on down. Make it interesting. Come on, make it interesting. See, it's going to make that head fake to the upside, but in reality, it wants to come down. Now, this is the third candle where the sentiment is highly negative right now, which is good. So that means that it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Macau fourth quarter GDP shrinks 14.4% year on year. I love those numbers. Come down. China's numbers aren't good. You're going down. Come on. Stop being such a pest. You know, the market makers must really have some serious exposure to not let this thing crash right now. They must be doing everything possible to hold it, but it's inevitable. They got to come down. It's not going to be pretty for them. It's going to be a pretty bloodbath for them, but it ain't going to be pretty for them. Let's see what you're going to do, you treacherous individuals. And this thing still has negative volume. I mean, you got 20 million on the buy, 31 on the sell. It's a bullish candle with negative volume. And the previous one was a bullish candle with negative volume. When you have two of them, that means the third one's the one that comes down. So if this one doesn't play, that ain't going to play nice. And that's a good sign. So it means that they will push to the downside. Come on down. We're all waiting for you. Now, see, this is 20 pips. You know, I'd love to say that, I would have loved to have seen this thing come down 40 pips because that's the type of trade that we look for on this day, 30 to 40 pips. But I think it's going to come down further. Now it's just a matter of time. But they're making a fight. They are trying to hold it as much as possible. And you still got negative volume, 26 on the buy, 40 million on the sell, difference of 13 million, 27 on the buy, 40 on the sell. Again, they're hitting that miserable number, that 113.96, which we hate. So long as they stay below it, we're good. Come on down. 30 on the buy, 42 million on the sell. Oh man, they're gonna make it an emotional one. Okay, that's interesting. You got 31 million on the buy, 47 on the sell. Difference of 15 million. 50 on the sell. Come on, give it up. We all know that you want to give it up. 35 on the buy, 51 on the sell. See, look at that. Their exposure must be profound that they don't want to go down. But it's inevitable. You're going to bleed tonight, and we're going to enjoy carving you up. You know, I had one of my one of my customers called me today, and he asked me, "What are you doing?" And I told him, "I'm cutting my fish." He goes, "What do you mean you're cutting fish?" And I go, "Yeah, I love to cook my salmon. Salmon. I enjoy carving it. I enjoy seasoning it. It's an empowering sensation when you take a knife and you cut a fish. There's no other sensation like it." But he just laughed. He goes, "It's the human animal instinct in you." And I go, "Yeah, I guess something like that. Give me a knife and give me a fish, and I'll cut that puppy up." Miramax sold to Guitars BEIN. Wow. Who would have thought? All right, it's time to play. So let's play. We all know that you guys gave it up, and it's time to go down. So make it happen. God, they are such stubborn mules. Stubborn mules. Crude is going down, though. Come on, give it up. You know it's time to fall. There it is. Come on. Oh, for miserable algorithms. They're defending it with everything they got right now, but you gotta fall. You know it, and I know it. Come on. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, here it is. Oh no, is it possible? Yes, it is. They broke below it. They're trading at 113.90. Now it's time to fall. Come on, take advantage of the moment. We need. There it is. Oh my goodness. Joy to the world. That's all I have to say. Joy to our world. Everyone else's world is in trouble, but our world is doing pretty good right now. Gotta love it. You gotta love trading. But now it's got to come down. See, now that it broke this miserable pivot, it has to come down here to 113.80. So make the drop. Make the drop, buddy. I do like the fact that they've been taking their sweet time coming down, one drop at a time. That is very crucial and very important. All right, so now we're up how many? 30? Are we up 30? Yeah, 30 pips. But we're looking for 40 to 50. Make it exciting for the evening. Come on, it's time to budge. And it's time to fall. Now I know there's no pivot here because I'm going to be really, really upset if I missed one. Let's see, is there one? Yeah, there is right there. Miserable hounds. 113.86, but if it breaks below it, this is the next one, 113.69. Yes, come on down, baby. We're waiting for you. Come on, it's time to budge. There it is. There it is. Beautiful. Broke right through that sucker. Okay. It's a beautiful thing when the trade goes in your favor. There is no emotion quite like it. Now, when it goes against you, the emotions are more treacherous, but in this case, we try and find the trades that make sense to us, where risk is minimal and results are extremely, extremely positive. Now, this thing should come down to 113.70 from this point. But the Dow is still having a hard time. It's only up, it's down 25 points right now. 26. And the Dow should have fallen 50 points by now. I think it's going to be a late bloomer, but it's going to give. So let's see. Come on down, baby. We're all waiting for you. See, look at that. They make it, it's all this miserable emotion they put behind the trade that suddenly they just stop. They're like, don't want to go down anymore. We don't, but we got to. And I go, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You got to come down. See, when have you ever seen a trade just stop, just cease to move? And look at the volume on this thing. There's volume in it. 56 on the buy, 62 on the sell. I mean, they are bringing 63 on the sell. They're bringing in volume, but they are not moving. Price action is frozen at this point. Ooh, that was a dangerous move right there. The point of control just collapsed. That means it's got room to budge. Definitely has room to come down further. See, the Dow's only down 24 points. This thing should have collapsed by now, at least 50 points. They must have some serious exposure and do not want to give it up. But at the end of the day, in the morning, it's going to be a treacherous one for them because they're going to plummet. And crude has no business staying up where it's at right now after U.S. Crude inventories came out so high. It should have come down, but it didn't. But I think they're going to let it crash tonight. I'd love to see it crash $2, to be quite honest with you. 71 on the buy, 74 on the 72 on the buy, 74 on the sell. Look at that. I mean, there is high frequency taking place right now, and no one sees it except us. 77 on the buy, 75 on the sell, and it's coming down. 79 on the buy, 77 on the sell. That's interesting. I hate when they don't move. It really just gets under my skin. Well, we got 10 minutes. Italy, February service PMI rises. So that number came in somewhat decent, 53.8. Forecast was 52.8, but what was the previous month? That's what matters. Let's see. Miserable Italians. Okay, so previous was a little better, not much. This one came in negative with French. Gotta love the French. They really know how to touch someone's heart. They came in less than expected. No one really cares much for the Italians. They're insignificant. No one's Italian here, right? No offense. Okay. They held for a little bit, but they got to come down. They're looking for an excuse to go up, and they can't seem to find one. Ha! That's treacherous. And we have another pivot. Lord have mercy. We love when they form pivots. There it is. Yeah, you got to come down. We both know that, you treacherous, miserable trade. And again, they came up, you would expect them to make a move to the upside with this. I just don't see a tremendous move to the upside because the news that's coming out isn't great. The fact that the French came out with negative numbers than the Italians is not a good thing. Is a good thing, actually. It balances out the negativity on the negative side. So long as the news continues to be bad today, we're all good. These trades are going to come down. Okay. They're going to make us wait. Well, I don't think that there's anything more that I can add unless you guys have any questions. I think this thing's going to continue to come down. I would say move your stop loss to break even right now. The trade is far enough that it shouldn't come down. The trend stop's coming down. So long as the trend stop continues to come down, I mean, we have a pivot. I'd say they're going to hit this next trend dot that forms here and then boom, down. And when it comes down, it should come down right here to 113.72. Here's a pivot right here, which makes it treacherous, and there's a pivot right there, which makes it even more treacherous. But so long as they continue on this path, we're good. That's all that matters. So unless there's anything else, which I don't think so, I think we'll cut it short. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us here today at Phoenix Trading Strategies. Let's just wait for this to come out in 2 minutes, and then we will see what happens there. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, let's see this. So they decided to come down, did they? Where's the next pivot? Yeah, you're down here somewhere, you miserable. Yeah, okay, that means the news was bad. That's gonna be nasty for them. I hate to be in their shoes. Let's see. Let us see. Damn, it actually came out better than the previous month, but not good enough. And then the next one is going to come out right now. We'll wait for this one, actually. I want to see what the final PMI is for Euro, because if it's bad, they're in deep trouble. We'll wait the next 4 minutes. But so far, gotta love the trade. Got to love the trade. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan right now. So they broke below it. Again, you got volume divergence, and it's really not even volume divergence. They're just continuing to go down. But this is the next level, 113.71. And it has to come down. There is no tomorrow for them. You know, I just wish the Dow would come down further. It hasn't come down, much. It's only down 26 points. And that thing should have crashed by now. Crude is down 10 cents on the WTI, on the NYMEX. Yeah, France February service PMI falls to 49.2 preliminary. The previous was 49.8, which is not good. But so far, we're up, what, 30 pips? 35, 30, 32 pips, something like that. So next 3 minutes are crucial because if the Europeans, if the Euro PMI numbers come out bad in general or less than expected, they're done. This is over. It's going to come crashing. They got no choice. You know, I do expect this trade to come down based on what I've seen. It should come down 100 pips overnight. See, the Dow's only down 23 points. 24. Should be down 50 by now. They're just trying to find an excuse to go along, and they can't seem to find one. 2 minutes are up, and then it's on. Let's see what happens. Not a bad trade for the night, don't you agree? It's been an emotional one. They've made us work for this one. Make no mistake. They have made us work hard for this trade. So right now we are, 30 pips down from our entry. Come on down, come on. Okay, yeah, this price right here is, it's because of this miserable pivot. They know that once it breaks, they've got to come down here, and they'll go through this level real fast, and they'll end up right here. This is where it's supposed to end, 113.61. One more minute, so we'll see. We shall see. Europe's rally falters, thank God. It should have never rallied in the first place yesterday. Okay, well, alright, this thing should have hit by now. It's on. So let's see, what are the numbers? Come on. It came out slightly better than expected. Not good enough, but not bad. And that's why they pushed up just slightly, but it's not good enough. They got to come down. Those numbers don't mean anything. If they would have come up 54 and a half, then I'd be concerned. But see, those manufacturing numbers that came out are actually bad for the economy. Good numbers are 55, 57, not 53. Anything below 54 is bad for the economy. So that means that the Eurozone is in trouble. But now it comes down to seeing them play the trade. So I would say you're in good standing if you got your stop loss here at break even. Cover yourself with 3 pips. But I don't think they're going to come up. I think they're going to come right back down. And it's not going to be pretty for them. And it's going to be one of those trades that's just going to continue overnight. And it should come down 100 pips. I mean, I'm thinking this thing will come down to this level, to 113.20, or slightly above it. 113.25 is really my target. I don't think that they're going to hold. No way. They definitely have to fall. So that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you very much for joining us today here at Phoenix Trading Strategies Forecasting Room. Have a great day. We will see you Friday morning, very early, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 a.m. Pacific, and we will talk soon. Cheers. Goodbye now.